Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eric. Happy birthday to you. So, what I did was I poured myself a glass of wine and I packed a little bowl. And I just always like to do a little special stuff for you because you mean so much to me. And so I wanted to do a reading for you, and that's why I asked for your time of birth. So I'm going to start off with a little draggy wag because I'm tired. I've been doing readings all day, and then I'm like, yay, I'm done. And then I was like, oh, I really want to get one done for Eric. So cheers. I better just take one drag because I want to be able to read the reading to you. And cheers. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to start off doing is just going through the basics of your natal birth chart. What makes Eric Eric? I'll talk about the rising, the degree, and the sign, and then give you a little brief synopsis. And then I'll talk a little bit about the aspects, about past transits and future transits, just to prepare you for some maybe energies that might be a little more difficult. So I hope you're comfortable, and I'm pretty sure you have a lot of time on your hands now that the bar is closed. So kind of perfect timing. What's up, Legs? All right. So first, you are a rising Scorpio at 22 degrees. And I have told you this before. It makes you more hard to read, more quiet and reserved, and quite difficult to understand at times. Others notice your deep emotions and feelings and wonder how to draw you out. Stubborn and tough, you fight for any position that you believe in, and you're very resourceful. You're stubborn and tough, and you fight for any position you believe in. You are very resourceful. And when you become angered or upset about something, you enjoy living life at the cutting edge. For you, life must be experienced intensely and totally. Quite courageous, you are willing to take calculated risks, and yes, you do. Easily hurt by others and often strike back with bitter sarcasm. Sensitive and curious, you are concerned with the deeper mysteries of human psychology. Once you have become interested in any subject, you pursue it with full fantasism. All right, so your sun, you know that it's at 6 degrees Sagittarius. It makes you very loving, fun-loving, spirited, energetic. You have a pretty positive outlook on life. You have a really good personality, very engaging, a huge reservoir for physical activity within you that needs to be released. So exercise and sports is really good for you. Quite gregarious. You enjoy being with other people, but you tend to avoid emotionally restrictive and intimate relationships. Um, Constantly curious about the broader issues of life. You may at times be quite careless and sloppy about details. You tend to leap to conclusions before all the facts are in. An avid reader, and you are totally enthusiastic about any given subject should it interest you. You are known for being idealistic, generous, sociable, cheerful, and very positive. All right, so your moon is also in Sagittarius. It's at 27 degrees, so it's at the later decan. So it's a more matured Sagittarius energy. You're idealistic. You prefer the grand and beautiful and good and noble. You get very disappointed when your high expectations in life are not met. Very curious about nature. You enjoy traveling and learning about other people and cultures. Try to avoid your tendency to ignore the small and important details of living. You are independent and free, and you want others to be that way too. Optimistic, buoyant, cheerful. Others like to have you around. You have an incessant desire to learn as much as possible about metaphysics, um, philosophies, and other deep subjects. Your life tends to be punctuated by bursts of energy. So your Mercury is at 29 degrees Scorpio. Now, this is a difficult aspect, in my opinion. 29 is a very crucial degrees and 0 degrees. So this is like a very mature Scorpio energy and almost to a Sagittarius, but you are a born investigator. You are fascinated by secrets and mysteries and unanswered questions of any kind. When you become upset or angry, your emotional reactions are overpowering. Reason and logic disappear in an uncontrollable, passionate outburst. You tend to keep your thoughts secret and bottled up, and this makes others regard you as suspicious. It is not that you are trying purposely to be evasive. It is just that you would rather not deal with the explosions and hassles that often occur when you reveal your true feelings and opinions, and your sense of humor tends towards sarcasm and irony. Um, Venus is at 22 degrees Capricorn. This is where we have a big connection. We differ in so many ways, because my Venus is in Cancer, which is opposite, which is about all the nurturing and the home stuff. But you tend to keep your feelings under control. Emotions are only released in serious and important situations. You are distrustful of others whose behavior could be judged as excessive or immoderate. As such, you prefer to relate only to those who are older than you, or to those whose positions is such that respect the duty of more important for both you than passion and emotional responses. So be careful, however, of relationships that are merely based on practicality and utility, or you will ultimately be lonely. This also has to do with like maybe relationships with older people. So your Mars is at 21 degrees of Virgo. So Mars is your masculine energy. It's your drive, it's your passion, and you are really driven to like the details of things. Like you could overthink things until the desire to even do it is gone. Very careful and systematic. You pay great attention to details. You are always seeking perfection and sometimes get bogged down, searching for the ultimate when adequacy would have been sufficient. You dislike abstractions, preferring whatever is practical, useful, and demonstrable. You have a strong and enduring sense of personal responsibilities, and you demand that others be as responsible and upright as you are. Very critical of yourself and others. Sometimes you carry this too far and become overly intolerant of others and their right to choose their own lifestyle. So so those are your personal planets, and I'll get into the aspects later. This is just like a brief warming up. Okay. So Jupiter's at 0 degrees Scorpio, and like Scorpio is an intense energy, but 0, like I said, is crucial degree and 29 degree, and you kind of have them both. So Jupiter's at 0 degrees and Mercury is at 29 degrees. So it's like, yay, for hard aspects. You love to dig deep beneath surface appearance in order to find out what is really happening. You persist, researchers. You are very interested in the psychology of any situation. You tend to become overwhelmed by the complexity of what you uncover. However, and that makes you a bit gun shy about explaining things to others. But you must learn to try to communicate as best as you can, because what you know is really valuable to others. And I believe that is in your 12th house. No, that's in your 11th house of community and friendship. So there's a lot of depth there, usually with like your friendships and the groups of people that you hang out with. Okay, Saturn is in Libra, 18 degrees. Although you take quite a while to make a decision, you usually consider all sides to a question, all the pros and the cons, and the solution you come up with is very often the correct one. You tend to be very reserved and shy, but once you make a commitment to someone, the partnership is forever. You have a strong sense of justice and fair play and greatly respect the laws and institutions by which you are governed. As such, you are outraged when others break laws and show contempt for authority. Hence your location in Nevada and how people don't follow the restrictions and the rules for COVID. So yeah. Uranus, okay, is at 0 degrees Sagittarius, another crucial degrees. 0. Okay. This is actually your peer group, because like the further planets go out, then it's more of a generational or a peer group thing. But Uranus, it moves quicker than Neptune and Pluto. So it's your peer group. You have a tendency to think that all ideas, customs, traditions from the past are outmolded and irrelevant. So you are attracted to radically new ideas, philosophies, religions that will hopefully cause sweeping change throughout the world. Very eccentric, right? You want growth. Neptune, 23 degrees of Sagittarius. Okay. Another Sagittarius placement. You and your entire generation are heavily involved in investigating and idolizing foreign and exotic intellectual systems and religious philosophies. The most extreme ideals will be pursued with gusto. You will be at the forefront of humanitarian attempts to improve the lot of those who are in need of assistance. You will be comfortable with the concept of a global village, which is the age of Aquarius, which we're stepping into literally in December. Like, it's really going to start moving things forward when Jupiter and Saturn conjunct for a brand new cycle. And I'll let you know where that is in your chart later. Pluto is at 25 degrees of Libra. And for your entire generation, this is a time of radical change in society's attitudes towards marriage and interpersonal relationships. There is a general fear and awe at the power inherent in making emotional and contractual commitments. They will not be entered in lightly. So I'm in that same generation as well. So now your North Node is in Cancer, and the node of the moon is literally just when you were born. It's where the two intersect. Now that's the dragon's head, and the North Node's the dragon's head. That's where we're heading. That's the least amount of experience and why you have come here. Okay. Let's say why you reincarnated here or why you were born here was to learn and evolve your soul in this kind of area of your life, which is really uncomfortable for you. But you generally enjoy meeting other people. But you're at best if you can do so from the comfort of your own home. You prefer others to come to you, and you tend to feel uncomfortable about leaving your home or neighborhood for an extended period of time. Those who do come in contact with you are struck by your caring and obliging nature. You really make them feel at home. You form the close ties, however, with members of your immediate family, especially your parents or your children, which you have none. You're at your best attending or organizing family reunions. It's in there somewhere. It might be uncomfortable. Your comfort zone is making money and working and providing for yourself. The uncomfortable area is connection, being nurturing at home, family dynamics, and being more reliant on being helped financially or giving help and sharing your resources. That's the uncomfortable part. And that's the shit that will continue to keep coming up for you until you learn what is strengthen the stuff that makes you very uncomfortable. So that is the end of the basic explanation. Now your ascendant so your ascendant is Scorpio. Okay. Yeah, Scorpio. I'm going to skip the solar return for now, and I'm going to get into your aspects. Now, Mars in the 11th house is trining over to Venus. Let me pull up that chart. Okay. Oh, yeah. 10th house is trining over to Venus in the second house. And this is a 1 degree orb, which this is a pretty tight aspect and connection, but it gives a passion for life and social popularity. Your balanced nature allows you to enjoy life at the fullest, while not drawing on energies of others. People enjoy being around you because you love sharing your true self. There are no mysteries or hidden intentions for others to worry about. You are comfortable being yourself in any situation and will have no trouble making genuine friends without trying to entertain people simply because of your playful and youthful nature. You may have many friends and in more intimate relationships will most likely prefer a long-term partnership where loyalty is important. As you grow up, you can have many lovers, but commitment will give you the most satisfaction and contentment in life. Okay, so you also have Mars square Neptune, and this is a 2 degree orb, which is still pretty tight. Anything less than 3 is pretty on point. So this really, okay, so Mars in your 10th and it's squaring Neptune, which is in your second as well. And it brings bravery and glamour, but also intrigue and scandal. You simply have to express your strong desires by fighting for some worthy cause. You do it through your actions. Your passions are not bound by traditional public standards. There is sometimes scandal, yet you draw on a very strong faith to march on into battle. Discouragement is something you do have to fight. After a loss or a disappointment, it is important not to be hard on yourself, but don't blame someone else either. Wait until you calm down and then think rationally about why things did not turn out as you had hoped. It is possible there was a misunderstanding or that you simply imagined a different outcome. It is also very important to have faith in yourself. When you feel scared, weak, vulnerable, it is critically important to trust that things will be okay. And know this is easier said than done, and it will take practice. You have to learn self-confidence, and that will give you the courage to stand your ground and not be a victim. Okay, so Mars squared the moon is a 6 degree orb. So this is really big. It may or may not relate to you, but I thought I would say it because I really like to speak on anything less than 6 orbs. So This creates an insatiable need to meet your desires, whether they're personal or professional. You are emotionally attached to everything you want or need. This is a great for providing like a fighting spirit to succeed, but can um, make you like short tempered. A tendency to overreact and unleash your anger seems to go hand in hand with your deeply passionate nature and the degree to which you share your feelings. In love relationships, especially, it will be important to find someone who also openly expresses themselves. Not too feisty, though, as you will be more successful in the outer world if you have a relatively calm and stable home life. Um, Also, your Juno is conjunct your sun, so you need someone very and Black Moon Lilith. Black Moon Lilith is more conjunct your sun, and I think I talked about that, so I'll hold off on that. But yeah, you need someone that's very like committed, through thick and thin. You may experience a lot of emotional turbulence in your close relationships, but this does not have to be destructive. Never try to bottle up your emotions. Rather, find techniques to let them out in a more refined and controlled way. Your emotional flair and dynamic displays are actually strong points, which other people find downright sexy. Some methods to settle your anger emotions could range from just like working out and meditation and breathing techniques. Um, Moon conjunct Lilith. Okay, this is the one. Lilith at one orb. I've been so attracted to Lilith, and I always talk about Lilith and how I think it's associated with a fucus and the twin flame portal, which when we were together in 2017, that was coming through a lot. I mean, that's why I named my cat Lilith. So you do have a very Lilith energy to you, and the typical features to this conjunction brings about learned early in life that spontaneously and fully expressing your deepest and darkest emotions was not appropriate or acceptable. The range of emotion possibly seems increased in you. You need to learn how to find and create outlets for expressing your intense emotionalism. As long as you do not know what's held there, it will seem like monsters populate in the space in you. People around you will sense that you are not fully present, honest about your feelings. It is good to have a partner who is a Lilith like person, or to find someone who can handle being around Lilith. Uh, to heal your Lilith moon pain, you have to be the one to open space for expression and nurture yourself. With this natal moon Lilith aspect, healing and healthy living means being willing to feel all that you have the capacity to feel. You need to learn how to integrate the nasty realities of rejection and suppression. That is the only way to your happiness. You are hesitant to express your emotions fully. That is because you think that the intensity and possibility of unbridled rage would be totally unacceptable. You are right. Of course, that isn't socially acceptable. But with this aspect, you need to find and create a space in which to express freely what's inside. And it could be through art. And I love that you do art, maybe even writing. So positive traits about this conjunction is you generally are a kind person. Also, you have a fine eye for pleasing surroundings. You are gracious and are not competitive um, in like an aggressive sense. And you do have a pleasing eye for surroundings because you're the one who introduced me to Colombia. And that's like one of my favorite places I've ever been to. Negative traits, the shadow side of this is that you can be emotionally closed. You will have to learn to relax and accept all that you feel. Okay, so now we have Chiron. You have Chiron trine Venus, and this is a 3-degree orb. So this is relevant, very relevant. So is almost always a more about the relationship to yourself than the relationship with others. With this aspect in your chart, until you build a healthy relationship with yourself and healthy self-esteem and healthy self-worth, you will repeatedly end up in relationships in which the partner ends up provoking some additional wounding. But the healing that is required may required by the contract will come more easily and naturally. You will experience that with less upheaval and stress. This does not mean that all will be roses, of course. That is because you still have pain to face up to. You can't acknowledge the need to change and heal. This natal Venus Chiron aspect will be very helpful in easing the course. Any relationship will demand a great deal of compassionate intimacy. You simply cannot be standoffish or cool in love. Natives with this aspect can develop the most profound understanding about human love, but that level of understanding usually comes out in very complex and karmic relationships. This native is very alluring to people in general, and many people may fall in love with you. Oh, I know you're such a likable dude. You can be annoying at times, but you're still likable. I love I love everything about you, that asshole too. So whatever. Positive traits of this is gives a very sensitive and caring person. You are a gifted healer and a teacher. You have the voice of experience, which gives you empathy with other people. Also, you have a talent for seeing the beauty in your loved ones and helping them heal their psychological wounds and realize their full potential. The negative traits of this aspect, harmonious aspect that will help you to overcome negative traits with ease. That's not really a negative trait. Okay. Okay. Chiron trine Mars at 2-degree orb. I thought I already did that. Nope. Chiron trine Mars. Okay. So this one is pretty significant too. In the natal chart, this aspect is, hold on. Could be because Chiron is an asteroid. He is considered the wounded healer, and he's associated with Virgo, and your Mars is in Virgo. So it's something about your masculine energy, and also has a connection with your career and legacy in the world. This also has to do with childhood, how you were raised, because we get a lot of things from our environment when we were raised. So with that being said, this aspect is difficulties in asserting yourself and expressing anger. Often what happens with Chiron Mars is that someone in the family or entourage growing up was particularly enraged or displaying excessive authority, making this particular person feel like expressing your anger was something absolutely terrifying. And so this is the second aspect that is reflecting that. So that is a common denominator. That's something maybe to think about. Growing up, there could have been like an awkwardness, a difficulty with saying no, with having clear boundaries, and with asserting your desire and your will. The person is either overly shy or overly aggressive in situations that do not require such displays of assertion. The person can also explore both extremes in different contexts, like sexual blockages are possible too, as the person may not feel comfortable sharing and asking for what they truly want. Here we have a classic case of the wounded masculine. If the person is a male, identify as a man, this is particularly potent. You'll find men who are either devoid of their masculine energy, or men who overly compensate quite clearly their masculinity and can show signs of toxic masculinity, like excessive machoism, associating physical strength and aggression with signs of masculinity, compulsive sexual quests. Okay, so like dominating. Okay, so Chiron is quincunx Saturn. This is another tight orb of one. So with Chiron in aspect to it, this rules and discipline will be at times rub up against the need to pause and feel something deeply. Maturely with one of these aspects doesn't come from ignoring your emotions of others or stuffing your own, but from developing realistic, grounded, consistent ways of managing your feelings and healing your past wounds. All right, so that is the sum up of your short natal aspects and placements. So now from this, I look at transits, and then we can then talk about the future transits. I'm going to take a little sippy whippy. Hi, Miss Miyagi. You want to say hi to Eric? Say happy birthday, Eric. When I was in Maine, I found this lighter of Miss Miyagi. Looks just like her. It's crazy. Okay. All right. So Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter have been transiting your second house. Now, Jupiter moves faster than Saturn and Pluto. So your second house is about your value. Okay. It is about, it's also about healing yourself and others. So this is also about, no, I'm sorry, that's sixth house. Your second house is about self-reliance and working with the natural world and providing for yourself, like your resources, your inner resources, also your self-worth. And this has to do with your wealth, possessions, your financial and personal resources, and your sensual pleasures. The internal would be resourcefulness and self-reliance and self-worth and values, your inner resources and your talents, which is strengthening. So when you have malefics rolling through your second house, it's really showing you and testing in this area of your life, which I know, but if I didn't know you, I would have still said it, because that's just what it shows in your natal birth chart and the transiting planets. Now, Saturn was conjunct your Venus on February 6th of this year. So this Saturn is more of a restrictor. So it can restrict your finances. It can restrict things that have to do with love and money, because Venus is the planet Aphrodite of love and money and all that stuff. So all your relationships and your abundance, like money, goes through a test of time. Like any relationship that has a solid foundation will be able to withstand the strength or the the strong examination that you will undergo at this time. This transit will dig out and make clear what is truly a value between two people. So in your relationships, because Venus is relationships and partnerships. An unstable, weak relationship cannot survive the tensions that accumulate as things that you do not like about the person constantly come to the surface. Relationships with associates and friends also go through this type of process. Therefore, any relationships that survives this transit finds a higher purpose, while relationships that have no purpose disappear from your life, and sometimes dramatically. So you get away from the company of others to assess who you are in the circumstances with which you can feel more pleasurable and comfortable in order to feel a much greater harmony and personal balance, especially to feel better with the people that you love. Relationships that start now, so back in February, have been very predestined quality and will have more significant importance like 14 years from now, which is a really long time, I know. At another level, this transit can signify a period of austerity and being conservative and careful with respect to love and relationships, but also finances and economic relationships. Do not take any financial risks and do not assume new liabilities, as you also need to structure your financial security now. In general, it is time for improvisation and to get clear on your feelings so that your future relationships are more stable and realistic. So when Saturn was transiting over that, it was exactly conjuncture Venus, which was February 6th of 2020. All right, so Jupiter conjuncture Venus was on March 15th. So Jupiter acts differently than Saturn because Saturn restricts things, Jupiter expands things. And it's your ruling planet too. So you could have been feeling like really good, very positive around March. This was a transit that was kind of lighthearted. The difficulties that Saturn and Pluto were highlighting, you may have found that your relationships or friendships got a little more like stable. You attracted well-being and economic benefits. This is like the beginning of March. You are able to express harmony and have a president says the great impact on your social environment. This is a transit where you would have been doing well financially and in love, but on the same account, you were maybe excessive in the pleasures of like drinking, eating, unnecessary financial expenses. Maybe you were being a little wasteful, but this transit overall is to give you internal peace and can help you maintain self-control. Okay, so that was exactly conjunct your Venus. But see, because Saturn has been traveling pretty closely with it, it's a very like push and pull. It's like, yay, yay. It's kind of bipolar. You've definitely been going through a lot in your second house, though. So Pluto conjunct your natal Venus. Now, this was the one that fucked you up. Remember, we went out there and we were having breakfast, and I was talking to you about what was coming for 2020. And it was saying that like the old world's going to dismantle, the new world's being born. And I said that you're going to have like a different relationship. You're going to have a transformation with your relationship to money, values, and love and relationships. So this particular conjunction was on February 13th of 2019. So it got kind of close in April of 2019, but the exact conjunction, the first one was February 13th. Okay. So just think back to February 13th of 2019. Now, the second time it conjunct was July 9th of 2019. And then the third and final conjunction will be, it was November. I thought it was November 21st. You little alky. Let me see. Oh, shut up. I'm celebrating Eric's birthday.
I'm celebrating being Friday.
Friday. Yeah, you've had like 15 microdose classes. I'm just playing with you. All right. I put December 21st, but you just had the last. Oh no, maybe it is. No. Oh, so it's the 21st. Where did I put December 21st? July 9th? Okay. Pluto conjunct Venus. Yeah, so okay, yeah. So that's why I put the 20th, the 20th, 21st. Okay, so what happens when Pluto, here's your Venus. Pluto comes up, conjuncts it February 13th. Okay. It goes past, it retrogrades, conjuncts it again, and then it moves forward. So on December 21st is when it, or not December, November. God damn it. Sorry, I'm kind of tired. Okay, November 21st is when transiting Pluto moved off your Venus, exactly conjunct. Okay, so your Venus is at 22 degrees. Pluto just moved to 23 degrees. So this had given you like some relief, like a little relief. Okay, so this is where, okay, so Pluto moves very slowly. Okay, so it takes roughly 240 years to complete a cycle. Therefore, you will have only one Pluto Venus conjunction transit in your lifetime. So this is finally over. This test in your finances and your love, and a lot of transformation, a lot of deep feelings, even of your past, because your South Node is conjunct Venus in the second house. This is an area that you're moving away from, and you're moving to this eighth house of Cancer, which is more embracing your emotion, embracing deep connection. Okay, so there's some people that don't even ever have a Pluto Venus conjunction. So consider yourself lucky. I'm playing with you. Okay, so however, because of the retrograde motion, I already talked about that. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So this Venus in Capricorn that you have, it finds all of this intensity and loss of control extremely difficult, and tries desperately to impose some kind of order, security, and stability. But Capricorn structures won't hold back Pluto. Okay. Breaking down structures is Pluto's specialty. And that's what I was talking to you about, like dismantling, kind of like starting over in your ways of finances. Now, the values are likely to come to the fore, including self-control, determination, and commitment. Navigating a Pluto conjunct Venus transit, as with any of the other planets that are transit, all come down to letting go. You just have to let go, Eric. And that's just something that I think it took, maybe it took a year of beating, but it's just about letting go and just flowing with what happens, right? If you try to hold on to the parts of yourself that are not being challenged or resist the changes that will inevitably occur, you will find it both exhausting and painful. However, if you are able to relax and surrender to the evolutionary process, you will emerge fulfilled with new power and insight. Pluto transits occur when one is about to make a great new leap forward, to leave the past behind and embrace the new beginning. This is what Pluto wants us to do. Empowers ourselves by letting go of the past and taking a transformative leap forward in our lives. So this past year has definitely been intense interactions with others. Okay, these relationships that are on a solid basis usually become stronger, while those that have lost their spark or usefulness likely end. Meeting someone or informing a partnership at this time from this year have long-term implications. If you attract a partner who is similar to those of the past, however, this may represent the culmination of that pattern, paving the way for a fundamentally different kind of lesson in person, right? Typically, old ways of relating become altered during this cycle so that new and more meaningful ones can take their place, especially if you are dissatisfied in your relationship. Sometimes another person is the catalyst for such a change, and at other times it occurs on your own. I know that you definitely have been a catalyst for me to change in the way I approach relationships, because I see so much of myself in you, and how you interact with me is a lot how I've interacted with others in relationships. Now, Pluto is the planet of transformation, and it has a different meaning to transform your emotions, and the most of them are not easy to handle. Very often it includes serious pain that we need to go through. It creates such situations in which we just can't run away, and the reason is that when we have this Pluto Venus combination, there's always a very strong passion that just can't let us go. Emotions are usually something which we control, but when Pluto makes this transit, the situation might be very different. And even people who are more reserved by nature may experience emotional states that they just can't control. And actually, for those kinds of people, this transit might be more stressful because they are not used to these conditions, which I know you're not really into that. But it's about learning, okay, and growing and evolving, learning different aspects about yourself, and evolving any like past like repetitive cycles in your family. All right, so future transits. I feel like this is the most important, because in prediction, just like a meteorologist, we predict what the weather is, so then we could prepare and negate anything that might be hard, right? Okay, so this eclipse that's happening literally right after your birthday, Eric, on November 30th, is in your 7th house of partnership. So your first house is opposite of your seventh house. And this is the highlight in these eclipses that are happening through through to next year for you. Yeah, it's all about what's happening between self and other and your sixth and your 12th house. So the key words for the first house is about your self-awareness. It's about self-discovery, independence, new choices, your approach to risk and new beginnings. Okay. So that is happening in December. So December 14th, the eclipse is in Sagittarius, but this one's in Gemini. And your seventh house is in Gemini. The ruler of your seventh house is different, however. It's Taurus and it's ruled by Venus. And that's why I talk so much about it, because it is pretty major as to that aspect that was happening this year. Your seventh house keywords is partnership, marriages, friendships, counselors, open enemies, contracts, and shadow projections onto others, and your business partnerships and relationships. Okay. That's happening on Mark Twain's birthday. And then the eclipse that's happening on December 14th is in your second house, and it's conjunct your natal Neptune. Okay, so this is giving it a little like maybe rosy colored glasses. That has to do with your second house because it's in your second house of value and your self-reliance and your possessions, like your finances and stuff. But an eclipse in the second house hits on your material realities, like money, what you own or owe, what you've built with your own two hands. A crisis here could shake you at your base. Perhaps your finances and possessions that you see as what makes you, you are like destabilized. And it could set off like an ordeal where you're tested to stick with the soul's calling through these hardships. There can be inner wrestling with how much to invest and what's most important to achieve. So with that eclipse, it's eclipsing your finances. So I mean, I hope to God it's eclipsing in a good way, but it's in the area of like the South Node and that stuff you're moving away from. But yeah, but it being conjunct your Neptune, you're not seeing things clearly. These eclipses compel you to examine your blind spots, question your faith, and dispute what you previously thought was indisputable. If you've been fooling yourself about your house, your second house matters, please take a more realistic approach. That's my advice. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, or outlandish turnouts, like unexpected stuff, because sometimes you're just not seeing clearly. Neptune really like makes things a little more nicer. The second house rules your disposable income. So money matters fall here. So a new moon and solar eclipse in this house could signal a new opportunity or strong desire to increase your income. On the flip side, an opportunity to spend money and not on everyday items. So something more big, maybe investing in something. If you have to spend money, make sure that it's on something that is truly necessary and not something that you'll end up regretting later, or be weary of impulsive buying during this transit. If it's something that you really need to do, then this is an excellent time to buy it. with little chance of buying remorse. So if you got a big purchase that you know you have to make, timing it for now could be beneficial. If you're looking to streamline and get your finances under control, this can be a good time for it. So plan a budget and stick with it. The second house also rules your self-esteem. So you can see a positive increase in the way that you feel about yourself if you choose to work on the personal growth needed to increase your sense of self-worth. You want to be more in touch with your senses. So, like physical stimulation may be sought out now. Going on runs, working out, releasing some of this extra energy. Um, yeah. All right. So we're almost done. I know it's long, but I really did work hard on this, and I wanted to give you something. Okay. Let's see. Saturn conjunct Jupiter in the second house is happening December 21st. So that's after this transit. So resetting your second house after all the Pluto dismantling of this nature of Venus in your life, because Venus is that Venusian energy of like money, finances, resources, love. Like I've always said, love and money come hand in hand. Commitment to a project of earning money, setting financial goals, starting to earn more money, becoming more focused on getting tangible rewards for one's efforts, beginning to meet the material problems of existence more efficiently. Significant purchases happen here too. All right. Jupiter transiting the third house will happen on January 3rd of next year. So when this happens, your daily life, you will now receive wonderful opportunities for advanced training in some field of study that could be useful to you. It expands your communication. I think communication for you will flow better. Your cousins and your local community um, will feel a little bit more better for you, I think, during January. But then it's like once Saturn moves into the third house on January 16th, you may feel a bit isolated from your neighbors, or maybe you just talk too much. So just be really mindful with like what you're talking about or what you're expressing, because once Saturn comes in the second house, they're giving you, they might be giving you trouble, and you may have more responsibilities regarding your neighbors and your friends. So see things for what they are and not what you think they should be. You may have issues of communication. Try to stay optimistic and continue working hard. You may not like it, so you may feel depressed and discouraged, but you may need to withdraw and become more cautious and reserved in your speech and communication. Hi, Miss Miyagi. Hi, legs. And the last, but definitely not least, your Venus return, which is happening January 25th, 2021. So this Venus returns happens once a year for you. And it's when the transiting Venus is conjunct your natal Venus. It returns to the position as to when you were born. So lessons in love, money, and your personal values reset for new lessons. So it's kind of like a romance spring cleaning. It's kind of like starting fresh, embracing your self-love, self-care, releasing of that which no longer serves you. That's ways of thinking or people in your life. The lessons in love and money for the past year can now be applied. So whatever that you've learned in the past year in relationships. So if there is something that no longer works for you, like a behavior or a pattern or a thought pattern, you can vow to no longer engage in that thinking or or like how like the beginning of your reading about like not being authentic with how you feel and your feelings, and maybe it's about coming out and being more communicative about that and not being so hidden and scared. But it is a really good time to just refine your values and the art of receiving and being open to just feeling good again. So that is a wrap up of your reading. And I wanted to pick a couple cards for you. I hope this is fun for you. I love getting readings. I love doing readings for myself. Um, I have a really good uh, outcome with my my clients that I have that I do readings on. I feel like I've helped them a lot, and they've expressed how much they appreciate my readings. So I hope you can appreciate it and just be open-minded. I know that you are, even though sometimes you don't act like you are. Okay, so I'm gonna pick a couple cards. Yeah, because I did a reading before I left the last time. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna first pull from the Journey of Love deck because Venus has been such a highlight for you. So, Eric, for this transit and reading. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle it one more time, and then I will pick the top card if nothing pops out. All right. Yin and Yang Lover, number 8. This is of transformation. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just pick another from another deck for Eric, and then I'll read what they mean. Oh, did that just flip over? Yes, it did. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Oh, yes, it did. That's definitely for you then, if it flipped over. The Search, feeling lost, confused, and lonely. It's card number 6. It's really about nurturing yourself and others. And I will pick from my Divine Circus Oracle that I got when I was in Sedona, Arizona, which is a positive vortex. I really love these cards, and I think they have like a lot of good energy in them. For Eric. There's transit. Oh, there it is. Princess Victorious. Another 6. 6 is also, because 6 has such a negative regard in Hollywood and like stuff like that and religion, it's just the Saturn, the Saturnian stuff, like the physical stuff. So like 6 is more about like financial resources, greed, power, stuff like that. So I just wanted to say that everything that's been being tested for you. The 8 is the infinity. The yin and yang lovers is the balance between the masculine and feminine and the twin flame journey. This is an animal card that I'm picking from the Animal Spirit deck. It's for Eric. Oh, that one wanted to pop out, but it didn't. card. Come on. One more time. All right. That one. The what? The platypus? Such a weird animal. Stop complaining and focus your attention on the blessings in your life. Okay, that kind of makes sense then. And then I will read what each of these cards means, and then I will end with a tarot reading. Okay? So the yin and yang lover. You could be smoking cigarettes right now. That's what you were doing the last time I was giving you a reading, but I hope you've quit. Probably not, but I really hope you do. Focus on your health before 2022. I would start focusing on your health like starting now. So when those transit come to your sixth house, that you're not like getting sick, you know, like I really just want you to be healthy. Okay, so the force of attraction is stronger than your conscious control. There is no need to fight this inner genius. You can learn to speak this language instead. What is it that captures you, that pulls you close, that holds so much light for you? Why fight it? Don't step away from what you really love to grab a hold for a second prize. Why not claim your first prize? It is there waiting for you. It is yours alone, beloved, or yours alone, beloved. No one else can claim your own divine birthright for you. Be yielding and let your desire fill your body, your heart, and your mind. You don't have to fight for what is already yours. It will come to you through the field of attraction and emanates from your own heart. It is not a question of worthiness or deservedness. It is not a question of trying to work out what you need or want. Your heart always knows. Listen, if you still can't hear, then just feel. You'll get the gist of it soon enough. This oracle has a message for you. No matter whether you seem to be holding close to your goal or further away, you are making real spiritual progress, and what you want is the same thing that is wanting you. What are you seeking is seeking you. It's only a matter of time before you get it. So there's a little poem that's in here. The moment when to fill your heart again is measured not in time or sweet remorse, nor tears that wash away unbridled pain, or morning's light which sings its soft resort. Such love has slept through storm and winters long. No call could break the stillness embrace, or haste change before the season song. Unfurls its melody and words so chaste. Empowered thus, I found myself compelled to cast aside emotions dormant still. My feelings spoke from depths, the answers welled. No need or past, the emptiness is fill. At one, our touch has opened hearts anew. Of patience born there awaits a love so true. Oh, that's such a good card. All right. The Search. Card number 6. All right, the second card, The Search. Feeling lost, confused, lonely. The days of our lives are forever changing. Just like the 4 seasons of nature, spring follows summer, and then autumn and winter, and then the cycles start once again. At present, you are symbolically experiencing a winter season. Life seems dreary, and it feels as if everything has come to a halt. You may be feeling a sense of loneliness and confusion, and it feels like you have lost your way. Searching for answers that do not appear to come, wanting to know why, and yearning for new inspirations. When will your passionate excitement for life return? The answer to your question is soon. Without a doubt, spring always follows winter. Look at the lady on this card. Notice how she looks um, like the Amazon, searching and yearning, unaware that the first rays of sunlight are just beginning to glow from behind her. Very soon, now the light will shine upon you and a new cycle will begin, full of new ideas, new inspirations, perhaps even a new love of some kind. So, the affirmation for this card is all is well in my life. I give thanks for the changing seasons. In solitude, I grow stronger and wiser. My mind is clear. My heart is open, and I'm always on the right path. So that's a good card. All right. Princess Victorious. Let's see what she's about. I like the healing tricks in this deck. You are being asked to be a big picture person for the moment. Sometimes immediate gratification has to give way for a grander scheme unfolding, which will ultimately lead you to far greater and more meaningful success. What seems to be a delay, obstacle, loss, or even failure now is a twist in the pilot of your life, necessary for your generous destiny to unfold according to a higher plan. And it can be hard to keep faith when you've been defeated just one too many times. And it is easy to make fear and doubt mean something they don't. It usually sometimes, it usually something like being doomed to fail, or we might as well given up. However, fear and doubt are just symptoms of fatigue. They are signs that we are feeling battle weary when it comes to life. To overcome weariness and create happiness, you are being asked to temporarily surrender your need to win, just for now. Instead, you are guided to step back, regroup, replenish, be kind to yourself, and know this. Sometimes you have to be willing to lose the battle to win the war. That means being willing to go through things in a short term that might seem like failure without losing confidence, courage, and trust that everything is going your way in the long run. The Oracle of Princess Victorious encourages you to know that you are strong and determined enough to bounce back and overcome difficult circumstances. You will be given the power to succeed at the right time and in the best way for all concerned. For now, an apparent delay, failure, loss, or change of course is really a saving grace. I always say rejection is God's protection. In time, with a broader perspective, you'll look back and be grateful for not getting what you thought you wanted in the way that you thought you wanted it, because what will come to you eventually will be so superior in every way. That's crazy because I texted you that earlier, that you might not be getting what you wanted, but you're going to be happy that you learned what you learned. So this card is just confirming that intuition that I had earlier. So give in to how your journey is unfolding, even if it seems like you're losing when you'd rather be winning, but don't give up hope. Trust that the universe is strategic. It is helping you to succeed. It knows that the things that don't work out now can help you move towards the things that will work out for you in the long term. If you need a sign to know that things are going to work out for the best, even if it seems like they are falling apart along the way, then this is it. So the healing trick for this card is start by standing up and saying aloud, any perceived failures cease to have power over me. I release all judgment, fear, and doubt about my future success. Victory will be mine. Victory will be mine. Victory will be mine. I cut the cords to anything other than my soul's success. Now you're going to pretend to be a karate expert. You are going to karate chop through any invisible cords of connection. Those invisible cords might be unintentionally connected to the past memories, fears about the future, and people who don't believe in themselves. Those connections can drain your energy and make it harder for you to believe in your own inevitability and ultimate success. You don't need that anymore. So just cut it away. All right. So I'm going to skip over that and go back to the healing trick that you can say aloud a few times. The universe leads me to victory now, in the perfect time and in the perfect way. I am victorious. I am victorious. I am victorious. Woohoo. Okay, so celebrate your victory dance because everything's going to unfold the way that it was designed to unfold. This is like the modern day rain dance, calling in the good things into your life. Can you feel the happiness of the good that's going to be? Feel it now as you swing your hips and authentically wave your arms in the air. So you could chant or sing or state, I am the prince of victory, and while doing your little happy dance. So this is the last affirmation for this card. Victory is mine, in perfect time divine, victory is mine. So that was a really nice card. It's funny how they're pretty on point with the reading and what I know about how you've been feeling. So platypus, what the hell? I've never picked this card, so I don't really know too much about it, but we'll see. We'll soon see. Complaining about this or that is a way to blow off steam, which can be healthy to a degree, but ultimately it isn't very helpful for you or anyone around you. Lift yourself up no matter what your present life circumstances are. Face the day head on and notice which thoughts you tend to put most of your attention on. Whatever the nature of those thoughts, and the consequences manifest not only in your feelings but eventually in the world around you. Power flows wherever your attention goes. Power is life force or spirit. When your attention is focused on negative thoughts, negative experiences result. So whenever you notice yourself repeatedly attending to a negative thought, practice shifting your attention to thoughts of gratitude. Consider the blessings in your life. What are the things that make you happy? You may find a discrepancy between what makes you happy and what you're doing in your life right now. If that's the case, choose to alter one or the other. Either change your life and start doing what makes you happy, or change your thinking and enjoy whatever is happening in the moment. It's up to you. So associations for this card would be grounded, clairsentience, uniqueness, adaptability, flexibility, stability, sensibility, all that stuff. All right, so now that we're done with the oracles, I will close with tarot. Did you ever find your tarot cards that you said that you got when you were a kid? First tarot card deck? It'd be cool. This transit, It's got a lot of eclipses going on. Okay, we got the Two of Swords came out. And there's something that you're you're avoiding as far as like your emotions. It's like that card to me is just like there's something that you're avoiding, but it's keeping you hostage, yourself hostage. And then I'll explain the reading after. I like to do it intuitively. And then the Three of Wands came out. So you're definitely looking at what next, like what you want to explore next, because like the wands, there's a couple of wands behind the guy, and then he's holding on another wand. Okay. But there's definitely some thought patterns and stuff like that that's keeping you trapped and tied up here. And then the Nine of Cups. Wow, this is a emotionally abundant card, and I'll look into that. And then the Two of Swords. It came out reversed, but I don't really read reversals, but I'll look into it and see if it has any significance. And then the bottom of the deck is the Star card, which is the Aquarius card, and it's like upside down. So like I said, reversals I don't really usually read. Okay, so I pulled up the cards like I did before because I did my intuitive reading, but I also want to just do what the card actually means. So okay. Sorry. It's Two of Swords. Okay. Oh no. Oh, that's Eight of Swords. God. Okay. So this is feeling restricted, being fenced in by obstacles, staying limited to a situation, feeling trapped by your circumstances, feeling confused, being blind to the actual freedom that you actually have. You have a choice. You can free yourself of the bondage of restriction, and this could be emotionally. Feeling confused, being unsure which way to turn, and a feeling of like a loss or the lacking of a direction. You're kind of at a standstill right now, and that's really hard sometimes for Sagittarius energy because they just want to move forward. They want to tackle, they want to like know where they're going next. And right now it just seems a little hazy for you. So you're kind of feeling a little powerless, and you're waiting for like things to unfold as far as like moving forward. You're definitely feeling like a victim right now. But this right here is the Three of Wands, and it's about exploration of foresight and leadership. So exploring the unknown, this is what you got to make the best out of circumstances. And this is about seeking out uncharted territory. It's like this guy, a quest for a new adventure. Like I was saying, how he has these two wands behind him, and it's things that he's already learned, and he is embarking on a new adventure, a brand new cycle. And he has a vision for greater possibilities than where he is right now. So really taking on that energy and being a good leader. And sometimes being a good leader is being a good leader to ourselves, showing others the way, and being a good role model. Yeah, just setting an example and being a good example. But this is about like what next. Okay, so that's going to be the exciting part of your stagnation right now. Nine of Cups. This is a really positive card, especially emotionally, because cups are emotion. So there is a wish fulfillment happening, your satisfaction, sensual pleasure. So having a wish fulfilled, achieving what you desire, getting what you think you want, having a dream come true, being satisfied, indulging in the smugness, uh, enjoying a situation just as it is. So maybe this card is just letting you know that it just like during this time of stagnation and pause, just really enjoy that time off because you work so hard. Um, and just knowing that things are unfolding the way that they will, and you're really going to be happy with the outcome. And then, okay, so the Two of Swords, I'm going to take a little sippy whip. Yeah. So I don't usually read reversals, but I pulled it up um, and I'll just read it to you. So the reverse suggests that you're facing a difficult decision and cannot decide which direction to take. You are caught between a rock and a hard place, and it feels impossible to make the right decision as you believe either option will lead to a negative consequences. As a result, you are finding yourself feeling stuck and unable to move forward, which is just making the situation worse. You may also lack the information that you need to make a sound decision. So, just as the blindfolded woman in this card is closed off, okay, and this one, I mean, you have two cards that have these blinders on. There's something that you're not seeing clearly. And I think it's going to slowly be revealed to you. You might be experiencing information overload, overwhelm by other people's point of view and information. Shift through, sift through the advice available to select only the most relevant and helpful. And if it's this video, take what you need, what you want, and leave the rest. Like a good book. But this card is reverse is just inviting you to listen to your intuition about this difficult decision. You may need to cut off from the external world temporarily so you can hear your inner voice and allow your wisdom to come through. Trust what you know to be true is and right in front of you. Make your decisions based on your own internal compass. Okay. And the last and definitely not least, the star card reverse. And this has to really do um with the outcome. Okay. And the bottom of the deck is usually energy that is a past energy that we're moving away from in my readings. And so the reverse star can mean that you've lost faith and hope in the universe. You may be feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges right now and questioning why are you being put through this. Life throws curveballs, but really, why this? Why now? You may be desperately calling out to the universe to give you some reprieve, but struggling to see how the divine is on your side. Look harder and you will see it. The divine is always there. Take a moment and ask yourself what the deeper life lesson is and how this is a blessing, not a punishment. Often the reverse star card is a test of faith. When confronted with a challenging situation, you can either crumble like the tower or stand firm in your conviction that the divine is everywhere. You will also learn how to trust not only in the universe, but also in yourself. You are a vessel for the divine. And when you have faith and confidence in yourself, you will allow the divine to shine through you. Okay. So I think that's all that I have to say, and all the cards are wanting to say. Thanks if you stuck in there and watched it all the way through. I hope you did. And I really hope that you got something out of it. I wanted to do something special for you. And, you know, I always like to come see you, but in circumstances like this, like distance and coronavirus and other people's emotions involved, just wasn't really open to do something like that. But I definitely wanted to spend a little time with you, and even if it's just a video. So, peace out, your lucid living coach and your twin flame. I love you and I'm here for you, and I'm always praying for you. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how the universe blesses you after such a challenging time in your life. It's always darkest before the dawn. So remember that the eighth house is Scorpio house. And right after that death comes the rebirth. And that's the Sagittarius house. And you know Sagittarius well. So, all right, peace out. I'll talk to you soon. If you have any questions or you want any clarity on your reading, don't hesitate and reach out. Okay. All right. Bye.